Walking through a party in the county jail. The prison band was there, they began to wail. The band was jumping and the joint began to swing. You should have heard the knocked out jailbird sing. Let it rock. Everybody let it rock. Everybody in the wholesale block was dancing to the jailhouse rock.
Vince Everett, dynamically portrayed by Elvis Presley, was a tough blackboard jungle kid. Jailhouse Rock is the astounding success story of this rebel with a voice that rocked the world.
I guess it's just because you was so square. Baby, I don't care.
Jailhouse Rock is also the love story of this rebel.
How dare you think such cheap tactics would work with me?
Ain't tactics, honey. It's just the beast in me.
The fires of violence still raged in Vince as he fought his way to fame and fortune in the exciting world of popular music.
Don't leave me now. Walking through a party in the county jail. The prison band was there, they began to wail.
And then came Hollywood.
Oh, Vince, let's try it again. Vince! How do you like our movie star, Peggy?
He has adapted very quickly.
Well, there's not much oxygen up where he is, and the man gets lightheaded. There comes a time when you gotta take a hand in things, and that time is now.
Don't push me.
I'm gonna beat hell out of you.
Don't try. You're talking crazy, man.
You know you got it coming, son.
I said don't try.
You'll be forever young and beautiful to me.
Elvis, a name more recognized than that of any world leader or Hollywood superstar. Elvis. He sold more than 1 billion records, starred in 31 feature films, and appeared on dozens of TV programs. Elvis. He's been the subject of countless TV documentaries, hundreds of books, and thousands of newspaper and magazine articles. He is worth more today than he was at the peak of his career. Elvis Presley still generates well over $500 million in revenue every year. So much larger than life is his talent, fame, and influence that Elvis can never really die. In fact, many believe the king still lives, and his reported death in 1977 was the only safe way for Elvis to retire. For many years, rumors have persisted that Elvis is still alive. In a few moments, you'll meet private investigators, former federal agents, and Elvis experts who have startling evidence that the king still lives. August 16, 1977. The entire world mourns as we are told that the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, is dead. There were documents, the open coffin, news reports, an endless stream of mourners, and even a death certificate. But had Elvis left the building forever? The author of this book, Is Elvis Alive? Gail Brewer Giorgio believes that Elvis staged his own death and is still alive today. In 1977, she began writing a novel based on this premise called Orion.
Well, it was August 16th, 1977, and I, like most of the world, had heard that Elvis Presley had died. About 3 days later, after writing several articles on Elvis for the newspaper, I decided to write a novel. It was called Orion. It's a fictional story of a superstar who hoaxes his own death. I wanted to try to capture the soul or the essence of someone like Elvis Presley. Orion was ultimately sold to Simon & Schuster. I received a large advance of $60,000.
Other coincidences that occurred. My book, The Presley Arrangement, as did Gail's book, Orion, disappeared from the shelves shortly after it was published. When I questioned my publicists about this phenomenon, why friends of mine would go to a bookstore and try to order the book, and they would actually refuse to order it, he said in 35 years in the publishing industry, he'd never heard of such a thing. When I talked to Gail Giorgio, she was getting the same story about Orion.
Were the fictional stories in the novels Orion and the Presley Arrangement too close to the truth? Almost immediately after Elvis's reported death, puzzling questions left unanswered began surfacing.
Why did the Memphis police officially close the files on the death of Elvis Presley before it was even medically or scientifically possible to determine why and how he died? Why were all the stomach contents destroyed pre-autopsy? Remember, this negates a thorough autopsy. Why was there never a coroner's inquest? Why was the Shelby County District Attorney's Office never officially notified to determine if there were any violations of criminal law? Why have all the photographs taken at the death scene disappeared? Why have all the notes prepared by the medical examiner's office, why have they disappeared from the official files? Why have all the toxicology reports disappeared from the official files?
Gail Giorgio obtained a copy of Elvis's autopsy report. Together, Gail and I viewed this report. In 18 years, I've viewed many autopsy reports, and I've been present during several autopsies myself. So I'm very familiar with what goes on at an autopsy, and I'm very familiar with what goes in an autopsy report. In these reports, they're very comprehensive. They give organ weight and size, skin coloration. They give things like the percentage of blockage in the subject's cardiovascular system. They give the coloration of the skin, the weight of the person, whether or not there's any foul play or any evidence of foul play. And usually these autopsy reports are 40 or 50 pages long.